about the only good thing that came from COVID, right? Well, there's a couple really, but yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple of things that were of benefit of me during the fake pandemic, right? And one of them was the introduction and knowledge of spirituality. And the second one kind of ties into that as well, actually, to be fair. Empathy. Being very empathetic, experiencing empathy at a different level, right? So right, this is getting too long-winded. So yeah, during the COVID, those times, I think it was about, I'm trying to think what year it was now. I think it was around 2021. Yeah, I think it was 2021. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Met a very beautiful soul. Somebody was very into spiritual side and whatnot. And for someone like me, I never fully dismissed the spiritual side of things in life. You know, I never dismissed it. I was never for it. I was never against it. I was kind of like on the fence kind of thing. So put this way, more so I was like open-minded, alright? So I was more open-minded than anything else. So yeah, so I come across somebody, nice lady, very nice lady, older lady, very nice lady. And yeah, that was basically my introduction to spirituality. And everything just started to click. A lot of things made sense. I started to experience a lot of different things as the months and years gone by. Even so up till now, like I'm still experiencing things I've never experienced before, because I was able to open up my mind, expand my mind, right? To places I already felt I could go to before. And that was a very eye-opening thing for me. People think about, some people have the notion of people who are spiritual, like of being a bit kooky, being a bit hippie. Nah, it's not that at all. No. Again, I'm very open-minded, and I've seen certain things. I started to experience certain things once I opened my mind up. So you know what I mean? I was able to take in a lot of things, and I started to be more aware of a lot of things. I can give you an example. Like energies, people's energies, right? Now, even before I got introduced to spirituality, again, but by the way, I'm not religious, I'm not religious, right? But I do believe in spirituality, okay? Even before my introduction, I was always aware of, people's energies and that, different energies, being around you and all that kind of thing. But again, once I opened my mind up to spirituality, I started to learn, experience a lot of different things. My ability to understand and read people's energies, you fucking shut up. You know what I mean? You went from like there to up there. I can just like look at somebody, right, and within the first few seconds know what kind of energy they bring up, you know what I mean? I could go to a crowd, I could go to a room, or wherever, festival, wherever, and I'll be able to sense and pick up the energy real quick, right? And again, that's something that ability to be able to do that and to be accurate with it was, you know, that was something new to me. And you know, and that's fucking, like, that's great, because again, I'm able to keep myself out with certain situations. I'm able to, you know, remove myself from certain situations, or put myself in certain situations, you know. So that was an eye opener. That my ability to do that was, you know, shot through the roof. You know, I'm much more aware of protecting my energy. I'm much more aware of when you're around certain energies, right, which are not necessarily good, how that can affect you, how that can manifest onto me, onto myself as a person, and how long that can stay with you for, right? And let's talk about, you know, the empathy side of things, right? Before all this, right, I was never you know, let's say someone's going through something, right? I'm around them, I can see, you know, I can see what's going on around them. Someone's going through something, you know, not good. I'm able to, like, what happens to me, I actually absorb that, right, and it can stay with me, and it has a detrimental effect. And now, so you might think to yourself, well, why is that a good thing? It's a good thing because it's not always negative things. It's not always negative, but being empathetic and having that ability to broaden your, you know, to broaden your horizon on your level of empathy, right? Is good because you're able to understand people more. You can put yourself more into someone else's shoes. You're able to feel what they feel, right? And don't get me wrong, having those empathetic traits, it can take its toll, because, you know, I've experienced certain things over the last couple of years, man. Like, and had an effect to me for like a couple of 2 or 3 days where I didn't feel right. I felt kind of fucked up because I took on their energy. I took it on through having a level of having a certain level of empathy. I was able to take it on again, and this is why empaths, right? Because that's what she was. She was the lady that I know. She was an empath, and she used to tell me, you know, how certain things will leave her exhausted. Fucking eyes ringing me now. I don't know if it cut off then. Anyway, what I was saying was, this lady, she was an empath, and she was telling me about how certain experiences, or when she'll do her readings on people, you know, if she was picking up bad vibes, you know, she could only do so much of it, because she would have to, you know, recharge, because she took on that energy, and I totally get it, because I experienced that myself a couple of times. And that was something new to me. and having that empathetic ability, right? It's definitely a blessing, and it can be a little bit of a curse too. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it at all. Yeah, so I'm much more aware of a lot of things. I'm able to, you know, we can dive a little bit further, like astral projection, right? Let's go study what that is. And I didn't realize I had the ability to do that, but I experienced that on 3 different times, 3 different occasions. All right. Basically, it's where you can put yourself to sleep, right? Where your body's still, everything's still, you're asleep, but you're consciously awake. So it's like you've consciously put yourself to sleep. Now you're in that state, and then once you're in that state, you start to experience and see different things, right? Again, for people who don't know what I'm talking about, it may sound crazy, but I've experienced it. So I don't. No one can tell me shit. And that was, you know, for me to experience. I haven't fully astral projected yet. I'll probably say I've been halfway there. But having that ability to be able to experience that little bit and then be able to do it is crazy to me, and I'm thankful I can do that. So yeah, I don't want to get too deep into all the other stuff, you know, because we'll be here all day. But they were like the only positives really what came from the fake pandemic, basically, for me. Because other than that, the rest, everything else what came from COVID was literally despair, death, depression, right? Not life-altering events. So, but like I said, other than that, they're the 2 things I was able to take away from that, and I'm glad that I experienced that. You know what I mean? So shout out to her anyway, nice lady. It's just funny you come across at certain times of life, you know, and maybe it was the right time for me to come across spirituality and stuff like that, you know. Maybe that was the right time for me to do it, because I was going through some changes anyway prior to that, you know what I mean? I was going through some self-improvement changes anyway, and then that came along. So, you know, shout out to her. Hope she's keeping well. And that's about it, really. Alright. So, with that, be mindful. Be mindful what you say. Be mindful what you tone and delivery. You don't know what folk be going through. Okay. So, be nice, if possible. With that, I'm out.